that helped them do it.
Yeah.
On to the next one, Colorado.
Plus 4,000.
Pinche Colorado. Sensitive fucking group of fans they got at Colorado at plus 4,000. Here's what I'll say on the odds wise. For every single fucking pigeon in the YouTube mentions up in arms about our objective conversation on Colorado last week, I would say go sprinkle some money on plus 4,000 for Colorado to win the conference and send a screenshot to us here at Opinionated. For every single one of you that hits that bet, if it does hit and Colorado goes on to win the Big 12, I will match whatever bet you put in for them to win the conference and send it to you.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Double
You know
up with
what?
that.
As we're talking about them, bring up Colorado's schedule real quick if you don't mind.
Yep.
We're just going to go through it top to bottom. Because here's the thing. I'm just as big of a primetime fan as the next guy. Grew up adoring him. I played DB. Cam played DB as we grew up playing football. If you grew up playing DB, he is the greatest of all time. He's a top 5 player of all time. Top 3 athlete of all time in my eyes. Salt of the earth. Great man, great father. Brother in Christ, if you will, right? This is no longer about Prime, Shedeur, and them. And to them, I'm sorry. This is about me and fucking Colorado fans. I'm going to war with Colorado, and I'm willing to take that on. Let's start at the top. North Dakota State. Give it to them, win, but better show up.
Yeah, that ain't no just wake up out the bed, and it's on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Hey, that ain't no wake up out the bed game.
Nebraska week 2, September 7th. This should be a very good game. Loss. I think Matt Rule, that was a game last year that Nebraska let get away from them. This is kind of revenge tour 1.0, if you will, for Nebraska, and they got a chance to go stick it to fucking Colorado. After losing that game, and that was a game that Colorado was still on their high horse, if I remember correctly.
After the TCU win.
Coming into that, and I remember Matt Rule had said something that got taken out of context. It was a clipped thing out of his press conference, if I remember correctly, and Shedeur and all of them went on their college game day tour talking shit about it. Turned out to be a very good game. You know, that's bulletin board material. I'm going to go with Nebraska and Matt Rule and that staff to win that game. Colorado State. Colorado better win.
They have to. I mean, they almost lost. I was at a bachelor party, and I was watching this game.
And that's in Boulder this year, right?
No, it's in Fort. They're on the road this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that game was in Fort Collins last year. Fort Collins, great city, by the way.
Yeah.
Fort Collins, great city.
Baylor.
Baylor's
had to go up there. I don't know
when Colorado's going to beat Baylor.
Colorado should beat them, but I wouldn't be surprised they lost that game.
UCF lost.
Going to Florida, yeah.
Going to Central Florida, KJ Jefferson loss. Kansas State loss, blowout loss. Arizona loss, shootout.
They're on the road. They'll beat Cincinnati.
They're going to beat Cincinnati. They're going to lose to Texas Tech at Lubbock. That's you want to talk about something that's going to be fucking nasty.
It's hard to play there.
The most vitriol, disrespectful, nasty motherfuckers in the world, literally and figuratively, are in Lubbock, Texas, and they live for these games. If Colorado's doing good, and
I hope
Tech
might be
outside
nationally
of my
top 15.
petty nature, which is what this is about right now, and I don't give a shit. Clip it, save it, do whatever you want. Outside of my petty nature, I want to see this Colorado team succeed. I want to see Deion Shedeur and his kids succeed. Quite frankly, I am a fan of primetime. I would hope as a college football fan, that they succeed this year and are competitive at this point. I would love for this game to be a night game in Lubbock and mean something as far as conference standings at the very least. But that game will be electric. I will take Texas Tech in Lubbock. Utah in Boulder. Utah is the easy pick here.
Yeah, I think so.
I have something in me that just wants to give Colorado a game, but no, loss. Kansas loss at Lawrence.
All right, so
what is that?
That's Oklahoma State last game.
Loss.
Okay.
So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what? 7 losses?
You got them at 5 and 7. So the North Dakota State win. Lost to Nebraska.
Loss.
So the Colorado State win. Baylor win. So they'd be 3-1 at this point. The UCF lost 3-2. Kansas State lost. Arizona lost. So they're at 3-5 at this point. They'll beat Cincinnati 4-5. Lose to Tech 4-6. Lose to Utah 4-7. Wait, my math's off somewhere. I think.
CTE.
Yeah. Utah lose. So the wins, we're gonna count the wins. Let's just do that. It's easy.
Cam's been hitting the head a lot, but they're not. What's their win total?
Oh, let's check that.
Yeah, pull that up for me.
I think it was at like 4.5 when I last saw.
And by the way, that's not a fucking personal shot at Colorado or Deion Sanders. Those are robots and computers that make these. Okay, so that's getting run through models. Thousands and thousands and thousands of scenarios are fucking put together to come up with these numbers that tend to be very, very accurate. More often than not,
Over 5.5.
they're at 5.5.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the
I'm
under with
taking
my
I think I'd probably
prediction.
take the under.
I'm predicting 5 wins.
Yeah.
There's a reason. You've turned over your roster. It doesn't look as good as the other rosters. You're riddled with players that programs could not wait to get rid of. And I'm expected to believe that somehow the different culture at Colorado, whatever it is right now, is supposed to turn those kids into what these other programs that win a lot of games couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And then players like Donovan Edwards, right? That's his name?
Dylan Edwards.
Dylan
Yeah.
Edwards, who transferred to Kansas State, right?
Yeah. Where he's
One
from.
of your best players, one of your most productive players.
4
on the team.
touchdowns in that first win against TCU.
Yes, he had his freshman moments. He had his struggles, but like very, very talented kid. Should have been a cornerstone player on that team. Going to the team that I'm predicting to win the conference, using my discernment just as an adult in my experience in life, it doesn't scream conference championship competitors to me.
Yeah.
So those are my Big 12 thoughts. It's going to be very, very exciting and very fun to watch.